I understand fully that the little years can be quite overwhelming and exhausting. However, we also know that the little years are so incredibly precious and wonderful and beautiful in their own way. But I want to share with you some things, friend, that me and my husband have been learning over the last almost 6 years since becoming parents. We have been in the little year season stage for quite a while now, and there are things that we don't do as a family of 5 that really help the exhaustion, that really helps the overwhelm that we all experience on a day-to-day basis. And so let's just dive right in. One of the things that me and my husband do not do as a family of 5 is that we don't wait to work until we're undistracted. I think that when we just had one child, this was probably how we operated quite a bit with our first son. But honestly, as you have more children, there's no time to wait. In fact, me and my husband often joke around that we actually utilize the time that we have more wisely now than when we just had one kid or even before we even had children, because time is a currency. Time is literally a currency. And when we use our time wisely as parents, when we invest in our kids and when we put them to work, when we're including them in the daily chores, when we're including them in what we're already doing, we are building their childhood. And we don't wait until we're undistracted. We just include our kids in what we're already doing. The second one I want to point out to you is that we do not allow snacks before or after dinner, even after dinner. We want our boys to, first of all, be hungry, really, really hungry for dinner. I want them to be ready for dinner and ready to have an enjoyable family meal together, even through the chaos and the screaming and the crying that is often attributed to or connected to the little years during mealtime. We want our boys to eat a really good dinner. And we don't allow snacks typically after dinner because we want to make sure that their bellies got so full during that dinner time, during the meal. And so very rarely, sometimes we might allow them to have an apple or a banana before bedtime, but they know that dinner is the meal that is provided to them, and they know that they should fill their bellies up during that meal time. Number 3 is that this might be controversial in some way, but me and my husband do not overcommit to outside activities. First of all, our boys, even our oldest, our almost 6-year-old, he doesn't have an outside activity quite yet. We just haven't felt like it's the right time for him. He's just still so little. And so we would rather just wait until all of our boys are a little bit older and we can commit to any outside activities. Even for my husband and I, we have commitments outside of the home with our church or our side businesses, but we don't jam pack our schedules because we understand ourselves, and that when we overcommit and when we just fill up our schedule so much, it takes away from our family time. It takes away from us enjoying our family time. And so that's really up to you as a parent, you know. But I just want to share that is that there is no rush. There is no rush in the little years to pack your schedule full. All right, the next one is that we actually do not send our boys to public or private school. We homeschool. We're a homeschool family, and right now I homeschool our almost 6-year-old here, and as well as starting some preschool work with our 3-year-old, a 3.5-year-old. But we have a really strong conviction that public school is off the table for our boys. We do not want them going into that environment. We do not want them sitting down for 8 hours a day. We don't believe that that's how God has wired them and how they'll grow in their boyhood. And so we have made a very strong, distinct decision that we're never going to send our kids to public school. And private school, honestly, is just not in the budget. So I love homeschooling. I have really, really enjoyed stepping into this new phase and this new season as a family. And I'm just so thankful that I can do it. All right, so next is that we don't allow our boys to have any screens apart from their watch days. Our boys have very specific watch days, which in our home is Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And then on occasion, not every single Sunday, but our boys will play a little bit of a video game with my husband, maybe on a Sunday afternoon or something after rest time. But I have definitely changed my tune, so to speak, with our boys watching a show, depending on the season of life that I have been in. So, you know, in late pregnancy or postpartum days, I have been much more lenient with myself and giving myself a lot more grace in allowing them to watch television. But right now we are on a pretty consistent schedule that they only are allowed to watch a show 3 days a week, and that's it. And sometimes there are exceptions to that, you know, depending on what is going on with the day or you know, how stressed out I've been or just needing a breather. But in general, that is what we have decided as a family, is that we don't allow our boys to actually have like a screen. They don't have tablets. They are not allowed to play games on our phones. We're very, very strict about that. And so I just share this not out of judgment towards any other family, but just out of a place of wanting to share with you some things that have helped us with overwhelm and with overstimulation for us as parents and also our kids. I really believe that we have to help our kids not become overstimulated themselves, but can peacefully walk through their day without having so much, you know, blasted at them in their face. Another one that I want to share is that we do not take big, expensive vacations as a family. We never have. Yes, we've traveled down south to see family, but we don't take expensive or big vacations. It would exhaust us as parents, and it wouldn't make the experience enjoyable at all. And so we've just decided that, hey, like we would much rather wait until our kids are older and they can enjoy the special vacation and they can remember it and they can be of significant help, you know, during that vacation. So my husband and I, we take morning trips or afternoon trips, or a day trip, you know. At this season of life with little years, like the overwhelm comes from stacking our plates so full that we don't actually enjoy being present with our kids. And so I challenge us to kind of think about that as far as how do we navigate the everyday in the little years and just really enjoying the wonderfulness, the beauty, the preciousness of where our children are at, instead of overcommitting or taking elaborate vacations or overstimulating our children or ourselves to the point where we can't enjoy actually being present with our kids. And so all of what I share, I share with you out of a place of love and just wanting to share with you some things that we don't do as a family. I pray that you are blessed with this video, and I'll see you next time.